And do you know what the best thing is about today? You're missing lessons! Yes! Wow. It's such a treat for me to be here and meet you all in person. Obviously I met some of you at Britain's Got Talent, but it was all quite brief, it's all quite a rush, it's all quite crazy. But the audition that you did at the school, it just touched not just me and not just everyone at Britain's Got Talent, but everybody around the country and people around the world. So you're all very, very special children, and you should give yourselves a huge round of applause. This story is called Windy Mindy. And this is about a girl who has an incredible talent for breaking wind. Mindy turned around and placed the tuba behind her bottom, ready to blow her wind towards it. Gasp! The audience was scandalized. They'd never seen anything so rude, but immediately, sweet music filled the hall, and the audience was shocked into silence. After just a few notes, she had everyone entranced. They were all in the palm of her bottom. However, after all that gassy food and fizzy pop, plus of course all that bouncing up and down on a trampoline, Mindy's wind was particularly fierce. The smell was so appalling it actually burned the nostrils when it went up the nose. This is the point in the story where things began to go horribly wrong. Suddenly the music teacher noticed that one by one, the rows of audience members were withering like dead flowers. The stink was hitting them like a tidal wave. In no time at all, the entire audience had passed out. Mr. Tinkle rushed onto the stage to make Mindy stop, but the wall of smell floored him in an instant, and he fell off the stage and plunged into a piano in the orchestra pit. Suddenly, Mindy realized that, as much as she wanted to, she just couldn't stop blowing off. Her bottom was buzzing way out of control, and her bubbly tummy was expanding at an alarming rate. Nothing could hold the gas back. Her bottom was about to go nuclear. Thank you. Mrs. Shaw, I'm sorry. So what does Mrs. Shaw do that makes her one of the world's worst teachers? What does she do? You're not looking quite so brave now. You stand up and tell us. Stand up and tell us. What does she do?
She shouts a lot.
She shouts a lot. Okay, she's going to be shouting at you later, I think, isn't she? Young lady with the glasses, jump up and tell us. What do you think of Mrs. Shaw?
Making everybody's dreams come true.
Yes, there you go. She's making everybody's dreams come true. Thank you, Mrs. Shaw, thank you. Another question, the question is, does anyone think their brother or sister should be in the world's worst children? They do? Okay. So I see, is that your sister over there? Okay, and what's your name? Ruby. Ruby, and what's your sister's name? Libby. Libby, stand up for us. Ruby, stand up for us. And you both think you should be in the world's worst children. So Ruby, why do you think Libby should be in the world's worst children? She always shouts at you. What does she shout to you? What kind of things?
Get out my room!
Get out of my room. Okay. Hi Georgie, what's your question?
You said you read something from your new book, World's Teachers.
Ah, so this is the book, The World's Worst Teachers, and this book isn't actually out for a few more weeks. But I have made sure that this school has the first in the world, I don't even have a copy, you have the first 10 copies of The World's Worst Teachers for your school library, okay? So it's in there now. So you'll get to read this book. This is the story of a very, 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 very bad teacher. A teacher so bad, in fact, that he never, ever taught. A teacher who doesn't teach? What nonsense is this? Well, please let me explain. Mr. Phoebe was a head teacher. However, Mr. Phoebe had a fear. It was a fear so huge that when Mr. Phoebe was confronted it, he would scream the school down. Then he would run and hide. The headmaster had hiding places all over the school, under his desk, in the cleaning cupboard, inside the lost property basket, under some smelly socks, under the dinner lady's apron. Mr. Phoebe would do absolutely anything to get away from what terrified him the most. So what was he scared of? I will tell you. Children. That's right. The headmaster had a terrible fear of children. Children just like you. Now please let me take you back in time, 50 years ago, to the day when this story begins. It was Mr. Phoebe's very first day as a teacher. He was just 21, fresh out of teacher training college, and ready to take on the world. Little did he know that he was being sent to the school with the worst behaved children in the entire world. Flakefleet Primary School. I'm joking. It's Hell's Bells School for Horrible Boys. At this school, the pupils ran riot. There were food fights every lunchtime in the dining hall, running battles in the sports hall, explosions in the science box, football games in the classrooms, and a crocodile that had been borrowed from the local zoo lurking in the pond. Needless to say, teachers didn't last long at Hell's Bells. The average length of time any of them stayed at the school was 2 days. Now, the young Mr. Phoebe knew nothing about the terrible reputation of Hell's Bells. That fateful morning, he marched confidently into the classroom, but the poor man hadn't even uttered a word when a bucket of custard fell from the top of the door. Splat! Now, not only was he covered from head to toe in thick yellow goo, but he had 30 terrors pointing and laughing at him. I'm sure you've all seen it hundreds of times. Oh, 3 more books to give out, so let's go. Well done. Let's go to you in the white t-shirt. Who's the best act on Britain's Got Talent ever? Flakefleet Primary School!
Before I started, that was a dream, to meet you.
Oh my goodness me, I'm here. I'm here right now.
Look at that.
You're meeting me right now. This is lovely. Let's have a picture.
Thank you very much.
There you go. But one thing I'd love to do before I leave is have a picture with everybody. It's okay, so I'm going to come through, okay? All right, and everyone shout, bottom burps. Bottom burps. Everyone put a thumbs up. Yes. And remember, you are all part of this wonderful thing that's happened. Every single one of you in this school. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for having me today.
The best bit of today was when he came out of the helicopter. My favourite part was when he read the story.
My favourite part of the day was meeting David Walliams and getting him to sign my book.
I'm excited about David's new book, The World's Worst Teachers, because I find it might be relatable. When I met David, I was crying. He high-fived me, and then I was at the back of here, the studio, and I asked him a question, and then everyone's like, Lane, you get up, it's your dream. So I went to hug him, and it was very special.